Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be over here, and I want to thank the Magnus Group and all of you. For 2025, I'm Anil Harrison. I'm the chair for the Department of Medicine at Midwestern. And prior to that, I was program director and chair for residency programs. I love teaching and I love learning, and this year in particular has been pretty rewarding, where we've had about, without an exaggeration, about 14 or 15 peer-reviewed publications in great journals on diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular events, etc., etc. So this one is the comparative outcomes of antihypertensive therapy in Blacks versus non-Hispanic whites with hypertension and cardiovascular disease. I'm thankful to all the authors who did tremendous work from University of Central Florida, from the Tehran Heart Institute, and of course, HCA Healthcare. So everything was approved. There are no conflict of interests. We were not funded, and everything was legal and fair. So the learning objects, and how did this actually start? It started because of several studies, be it all hat, be it other studies, where I was really confused, where if it's a Black patient, the first line therapy for blood pressure being, calcium channel blockers and, thiazides, versus white patients where, the focus is on ACEs and ARBs. So that is how it all started. And I started reading about it, and it was mentioned that ACEs and ARBs weren't the best for Black patients because of increased bradykinin levels, which predispose them to angioedema, et cetera. But I was curious, and here was the thiazide diuretics. We know that they're diuretics. Do they really help? Well, it helps your blood pressure. We know that. But far in one corner were the calcium channel blockers, amlodipine. So I was just kind of curious about it, and that is how we did a kind of a retrospective study on this. So the learning objectives were to compare cardiovascular outcomes of calcium channel blockers, ACEs/ARBs, and thiazides in Blacks versus whites, and interpret adjusted odds ratio for composite cardiovascular events, being MI, stroke, heart failure, hospitalizations, or death because of cardiovascular events, and to apply results to personalize antihypertensive therapy and to understand the limitations of retrospective monotherapy analysis. The reason being that quite a few, actually, majority of the patients who actually incur cardiovascular events or cerebrovascular events are already in 2 or 3 or 4 or 500 antihypertensive. Sorry, that was an exaggeration, but still. So it was difficult, but nonetheless. So the question being, there is, the burden of hypertension, which affects Blacks more, earlier onset, worse outcomes. To lower hypertension control and higher cardiovascular disease mortality versus whites. The guidelines, as I mentioned, with ACC and AHA for Blacks, it's calcium channel blockers and thiazides to be used as first line. However, ISHAB said, no, actually it should be calcium channel blockers and your renin-angiotensin aldosterone blockers, but they were looking at, the renal outcomes. Prior randomized control studies focus again on the kidneys. The value study, interestingly, was, the calcium channel blockers help control blood pressure better, and the cardiovascular outcomes were better versus ARBs. So that is how this study came about. We need real-world, large, multi-center data to assess race-drug class interactions, and that is the purpose of the study. All had emphasized thiazides, calcium channel blockers for cardiovascular protection. ASEB and AAK underscored benefits of ACEs and ARBs for the kidneys. So this was a retrospective study over 6 years. We took folks who had hypertension, they were over age 40, blacks versus whites on monotherapy only. And we excluded, of course, folks who were on several antihypertensives, who had HIV, who were pregnant, who had AFib. The exposures were only those 3 categories of medications which I outlined. And the outcome was we wanted to study, the cardiovascular events, which is MI, stroke, heart failure, and death. So we used a logistic regression with race times medication class interaction, and we adjusted it for age, diabetes, hypertension, smoking, aspirin, statin, etc. So we had approximately 15,000 patients. About 23% were blacks, and about 78% or 77% were whites. The age of black patients was lower at 64 as compared to the whites at 70. More blacks had CKD, 45% versus 32% in whites. And pressures were higher also in black individuals. So this is what we found. Folks who were either on an ACE or an ARB when compared to a calcium channel blocker, we're talking about amlodipine in this case, the odds ratio was 1.70. So there was a higher cardiovascular risk with ACEs and or ARBs when compared to calcium channel blockers. The second one was ACE or ARBs versus thiazides, the odds ratio of 0.66, a lower cardiovascular risk with ACEs or ARBs. Calcium channel blockers versus thiazides, an odds ratio of 0.39, we found a lower cardiovascular risk with calcium channel blockers. So we are getting an idea that calcium channel blockers in blacks, was number 1, followed by ACEs or ARBs, and thiazides was number 3. In the white cohort, what we found was ACEs or ARBs versus calcium channel blockers had an odds ratio of 1.18, very comparable, slightly higher cardiovascular risk with ACEs or ARBs versus calcium channel blockers. ACEs or ARBs versus thiazides, the odds ratio was 0.45 with a lower cardiovascular risk with ACEs or ARBs. And the third one was calcium channel blockers versus thiazides, again, odds ratio of 0.38 or 39, lower cardiovascular risk with calcium channel blockers. So amongst white, we found that calcium channel blockers and ACEs or ARBs were about the same. Calcium channel blockers were slightly better, but thiazides fared the worst. Between race comparisons, ACEs or ARBs, blacks versus whites, odds ratio 1.77, we found a higher cardiovascular odds in black patients. Calcium channel blockers and thiazides, there was no significant race difference. So the race times medication class interaction was statistically very significant with a p-value of less than 0.0001. Model performance was reasonable or decent with a C-stat of 0.66 and a Hosmer-Lame show, which is also okay with a 0.10. So here's a comparative risk of cardiovascular events by race and drug class, which we just mentioned. Whites taking calcium channel blockers versus thiazides. Clearly, calcium channel blockers were better. ACE/or ARBs versus thiazides. Clearly, ACE or ARBs were better. Whites taking ACE or ARBs versus calcium channel blockers. They're about the same, but calcium channel blockers were a little better. And the same goes for the black individuals. Calcium channel blockers were the best, followed by ACEs and ARBs, followed by thiazides. So what are the clinical implications of personalized care? We've discussed this. Calcium channel blockers outperformed ACEs or ARBs for cardiovascular outcomes. Thiazides were the worst. So avoid ACEs and ARBs as first-line monotherapy is what we concluded for Black individuals, unless heart failure or CKD are present. Amongst white patients, ACEs and ARBs are definitely better than thiazides. Calcium channel blockers are a very strong option as well. So the overall message is race does modify drug response. One size fits all guidelines risks masking disparities. Real-world evidence supports tailoring therapy to race and comorbidity. Our subgroup and sensitivity analysis, adjusting for CKD and diabetes, the results were consistent. Benefits of calcium channel blockers were strongest, followed by ACEs and ARBs, followed by thiazides. There were no significant interaction by sex or age past age 65. We've mentioned the C-stats and the Holmes-Mullane show. Safety and adverse events, they were not systematically reported in the data set. We could have had electrolyte abnormalities with thiazides, renal dysfunction, hyperkalemia with ACEs or ARBs, and edema, headache, flushing with calcium channel blockers. And we really didn't get much of discontinuation rates either. So the limitations of this study, of course, are it's a retrospective design. We excluded patients who were on more than one antihypertensive. The dose, the adherence, and the blood pressure control were not captured. Possible overrepresentation of ACEs and ARBs, and race based on administrative coding could have been misclassified as well.